What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and we're here with
Gershwan,
the one and only.
And this is for the greater. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what?
Oh, I got the question.
You do.
Rudy's got the chalk to question zone. This one's by AD 143. Do you guys think that if all the Primarchs worked together, they could defeat the Emperor in his prime? Now that just brings epic gooiness to my mind. Just picturing all the Primarchs back when they were loyalists, working in exact harmony.
Like Harlequins.
Yeah, that'd be pretty badass. But, do you think they can do it?
No, I think the Emperor would defeat the Primarchs. That's my opinion. The reason I think that is because he is one of the most powerful psychers ever. For humans, I guess.
Right.
Even with Magnus the Red, Lorgar, yes, they're really badass psychers, but at that point of the the Great Crusade, I don't think that they were as developed as they are now. That they've been given powers by Tzeentch and whatnot.
Some of them are dead.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying Magnus and Lorgar, they're not back then they weren't as powerful as psychers as they probably are now.
Right.
And I think the Emperor could have done some crazy tricks.
But still, though, it's 20 on 1.
Yep. And what he would do is I've seen this in movies and stuff like that where it's a group of people, but then psychically the Emperor singles them out, and it makes it appear as if they're the only ones fighting against the Emperor, and then the Emperor picks them off one by one. That's what I think would happen.
Have you seen what is it, Ip Man?
Ip Man, yeah.
Yeah. That one fight scene when he's fighting the karate dudes. That's what I pictured.
Yeah.
And he's breaking their arms and stuff.
That's what would happen.
That'd be a really badass fight. Grimdark battles, anyone?
Yeah, put it in.
Yeah.
So you think?
I think it'd be close, but the Emperor wouldn't even have to try. He could do it with one arm tied behind his back. He'd be fighting Magnus mentally while taking on everybody else.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool.
Good question.
They won't do it.
Well, no, they can't now, right?
Yeah.
Next question comes from Spice Marine. What if the Emperor dies and reincarnates as an orc?
What?
Yeah, reincarnation doesn't work that way.
Or does it? Because you could come as an animal and stuff like that, right?
No, not in 40k. Reincarnation doesn't exist at all in 40k.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But what if? Cool. I don't know.
The orcs would be unstoppable. I just want to put this out there. Dad Strudel said, Girth 1.
Girth 1.
This is an interesting question by Nurgle Lord. Why doesn't the Death Guard Codex get Forge Fiends or Mauler Fiends? By the way, hi from Ontario, Canada.
Canada!
So, yeah, I've always wondered that too. It's with all these separate factions of codices that are coming out, they're not putting everything that they should be getting. The Thousand Suns Codex is missing some key units, but at the same time, they're also being supplemented by other things. For example, you got those little crab tank things for the Death Guard. I guess that's supposed to be their equivalent to the Mauler Fiends. But you can always ally, bring in some Mauler Fiends from a different detachment or something.
You just take a -1 to your command points.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. Next question comes from Samuel Steed. Tactically, are the Space Marines and their Primarchs good soldiers and commanders? Greetings from Wales.
Oh, nice. Is it humpback whales or sperm whales?
You're living on a whale? What? So tactically, yes, they are supposed to be far superior than a regular human. They're so charismatic that they, sway an entire army to do whatever they want. The Primarchs. Yeah. And the Space Marines are kind of the same.
Kind
of.
Dragon Punch 903. Any idea when the Orc Codex will be released?
So the whole thing is that May, right? But then,
hopefully.
But then it was an April Fool's joke. But now, if you look at what GW is putting out, they're putting out a lot of a lot of orc content. So if you go to their Instagram, they have articles on orcs. So it seems like it's coming. Hopefully it is.
I mean, it's coming. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's just when.
Yeah, and then the We got an inside tip at the GW store who's saying that it will happen this year. But
Well, I mean, this is the year of the Xenos. Like, we should be getting every Xenos Codex out.
That's true.
But I think the next 3 that are coming out after the Drukhari release is the Death Watch. Well, the Dark Eldar. That's Drukhari. So
okay.
You got the Death Watch. You got the Imperial Knights. And I'm forgetting that last one. But it's not Orcs. So Orcs may come after that.
Yeah, hopefully. Next one. I have one from The Fool06. He asks, what would happen if orcs discovered or heard of the Earth myth of the Tooth Fairy?
Ooh, they'd invade Terra like no other. Because in orc, what is it, religion? Orc theology? Or
yeah. I mean, just orc society. They see teeths as money, currency. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's the equivalent of us finding out that Santa Claus doesn't make toys for kids, but rather just prints out money. But he doesn't exist, so I guess.
Well, like, I was thinking of it this way, because, like, if our teeth brings money, and their teeth is already money, that's like putting $1 under your pillow and getting, like, 2. Right?
You lost me. $2? What?
Yeah, because, like, orc teeth is already currency.
Yeah.
So then, if we do, like, we put our teeth under the pillow and the Tooth Fairy gives us money.
Oh, then
you're
gonna wake up and find 2 teeth instead of 1 because they don't have money. They
something like that.
Maybe.
Give me $1, I'll give you 2. I don't know what that means.
Next question.
Alexandre Thomas. I think that's how it's pronounced. So the Space Marines with their armor can survive harsh environments for an extended period of time. So, how come on Isfahan 3 the virus bomb killed so many Marines? Is their power armor not supposed to be sealed? How does the virus bomb work?
So the virus bomb that was used during the atrocity, right, was specifically geared towards destroying Space Marines. So like when they say that they can withstand like certain toxins, there's certain toxins that they can't.
Right.
And it just so happened that the virus bomb that they used was a one that they couldn't, because that's what they want to do. They wanted to kill Space Marines.
Right, and on top of this, there was already like traitors amongst their ranks and whatnot. So they could have been like, hey, you'll fight better without your helmet. Or, oh, look, there's a chink in your armor. You should leave that alone. There's nothing to worry about.
Yep.
He's also got a second question. This is one that I always thought about was weird. So if demons are created by their patron gods, like Bloodletter's Khorne, who created the unaligned chaos demons like Furies, Be'lakor, etc.?
So those are they just exist from the warp, because like the warp itself can create creatures, because that's what the chaos space, the chaos gods are. They're just physical manifestations of just emotions. So there's physical manifestations of other creatures, of lesser emotions, or of other things, and that's where the Furies come from.
There's vampires there too.
There's vampires. There's a bunch of really cool creatures in the warp. If you check out our we have a playlist. I think it's titled like Creatures of the Warp or the Warp, and we just list all the different creatures that exist. They're really badass, and they're not created by the Chaos Gods. They're created by the Warp. The Warp is above the Chaos Gods. Well, no, because it's like space-time, I guess, for us. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Not one bit, but let's continue.
Yeah.
No, I gotcha.
Next question comes from Snuggle Moogle. During the Horus Heresy, which loyal legion you prefer to join Horus, and which traitor legion you prefer stayed with the Emperor, and why?
Emperor's Children, I'd be cool to have them as the good guys, because we'd finally have like a really smug army that it's like, oh, we're the best. God Emperor, you should send us out here. And Fulgrim's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which one would you want to go evil?
To go evil, we kind of talked about this last time. I said salamanders, because it'd be cool. It'd be like, you said dragons, or no, like chaos dragons and stuff like that, because that's what the salamanders rode. No, they didn't ride, but they had them or whatever.
No, they do sometimes ride them into battle.
Salamanders,
yeah.
Really? But yeah, that'd be cool.
Funny man. I've been watching your videos for quite some time, and I've been seriously considering buying myself a small army.
Should have done that a long time ago, man.
I've been looking into the Thousand Suns and Zeech because Zeech is amazing. He is. So, I want to do a Chaos Army. Is this a good idea, and do you have any recommendations? So, first and foremost, if you're gonna start into the 40k hobby, collect something that you actually like. You said you like Zeech, you said you like Thousand Suns, definitely do it. Because if you go into the hobby just wanting to win games, you're not going to like your army as much because you're going to be too much into the competitiveness, and you'll be like, oh, I got to paint these miniatures, instead of like, oh, I really like the Thousand Sun Sorcerers, let's make them look badass. It's best to get into the lore of the army you like, and that way you'll never get bored or tired of your army.
Yep. Another advice I would give you, there is a guy on Instagram that has purchased the starter sets. So it's like $85 at GW, and then he creates the army, and then once he's done painting and like assembling the entire army, he jumps to another army. And he has an Orc army, he has an Imperial Guard army, and they look really badass, and that's what you should try to do. So I don't think there's a $85 Zeech, or what is it called? Rubric Marines starter collecting. Not for the Rubric Marines, but they do have a battle force type thing, right?
I believe so.
So I would recommend you get that, paint it, build it, and then you should only buy that. And then move on to another army if you want to, expand. Yeah.
Check out all the different avenues.
Yep.
Maybe do a Zeech Demon army because it's similar but it's different.
Yep. Next question comes from Gustavo Assis. For how long can a Space Marine live if he isn't killed in battle?
A really, really, really long time. Especially if you're interned into a dreadnought, because you basically get put into stasis and you can pretty much live indefinitely. But there was one story about a salamander, I believe. So there was like a salamander that was a lone survivor in a battle barge, and he was just drifting out in space. Like the battle barge ran out of energy, and like this guy was like eons old, and he was still alive, but like when they encountered him, I think he like said something, and that used up like the last of his energies, and like he turned to dust or something. But, like,
I don't remember that story.
I'm not 100% sure if it's official or if it was like a fan story, but I do remember that, this guy was like old as dirt. Kind of like Dirk McGurk.
I don't know who that is.
But Dante's pretty old too.
Yeah, there you go. Last question comes from Mark Robles. Where in Chicagoland area do you live? I live in the northwest suburbs. Would love to play you guys. Yeah, we live really close to the northwest suburbs.
Have you been to the Bean? Like under the Bean, there's like this space where like the three mirrors intersect, and it creates a tiny warp portal. That's that back there.
Yeah. So
right
just
there.
knock, and we might open the window. Just don't interrupt this episode. Also, did you hear that Texas is getting a bean?
Really?
Yeah, that's not stupid.
Yeah,
That's
everybody's gonna start flicking the bean now.
Yeah, that's stupid. And those were the questions for today.
That's right, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
No more.
No more.
Now you can interrupt us through the bean.
Yep.
And hopefully it's not a pinto bean.
Pinto bean. It's a silver pinto bean.
Yeah. Keep on asking those questions, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, comment away your questions, and we'll maybe answer it in the next installment.
This was Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist. Out of here.